Prescott has helped lead the Cowboys to an 8-1 record in place of the injured Tony Romo. In the 2001 season, Tom Brady took over for the injured Drew Bledsoe and led the Patriots to a championship. Drew Bledsoe said yesterday it's a difficult situation right now for Romo. We're joined once again by three-time Super Bowl champ Ty Law. Ty, you were on that 2001 team. Do you see any similarities to what you guys went through and what the Cowboys are going through right now?
It's very similar. It's almost identical. And Tony Romo, you have now been Bledsoe. It's over. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's what it was with Drew. I mean, Tom came in, he did the job. We had a defense surrounding us, and then you have to look to the future.
Right.
I mean, I don't even know why it's a debate right now because Jerry Jones, he comes out and says this and saying he's still my quarterback. I think that's just to bring the Dallas Cowboys a little bit more attention. But at the end of the day, at the core of it, think about Jerry Jones. He is a businessman.
Right.
And he's going to look what's best for the organization and best for the future of the Dallas Cowboys. He's getting a very discounted price compared to Tony Romo. He's not going to have to pay him. He's going to have to pay him a lot of money when the time is up, once he becomes named the starter. But right now, Jerry Jones will be a bad businessman, which he doesn't want to be called if he lets Tony Romo take that job back from Dak Prescott.
Go ahead, Skip. I'm going to let you talk about Jerry because this man knows Jerry. He knows Jerry very well.
I don't see that much similarity, and I'll tell you why. Let's go back to what you went through in 01, and you were obviously in the middle of it. But when Drew Bledsoe was finally cleared to play, you were 10 games in. So doctors cleared him. He could come back. Your record was 5-5 at that point. So you taken off the way you did toward that Super Bowl. So you said it. You were mostly winning at that point with defense, right? Okay, what Dak is doing is the flip side of that because the Cowboys are mostly winning with time of possession offense, third down conversion offense, long drive offense. And it starts with that man at quarterback, Dak Prescott. So it's clear that at 8-1, I'm with you. How can you even think twice? Yeah, what's the discussion? And yet Jerry Jones is still saying, we're going to ride the hot hand. Well, a hot hand is a couple of games.
Right.
A hot hand is not 8-1. 8-1 is the real deal. That's where you have proven over a big body of work you are legit. You are the man.
Yep.
You have arrived as the present and the future of the Dallas Cowboys. So from what I was told, and again, you were right in the middle of it, for whatever reason, Belichick had decided that Drew Bledsoe wasn't that guy. Like he didn't have that it factor. Drew was, we know, big talent, as you well know, could just throw the heck out of it. But did he have the it factor that Brady was already starting to display, even though the defense is carrying the day, right? Mm-hmm. You won that. You won the Super Bowl mostly with your. Is that fair? Is that was more of a defensive team?
At the time, he didn't have to take on as much pressure as Dak Prescott, but I think that's even more of a credit to Dak that he's doing that without the type of defense that we had. Mm-hmm. I mean, and look, when Tom Brady got hurt, you heard whispers when Matt Castle was playing. Okay, what's going to happen to Brady? But this one here, this is not a situation because Tony Romo is great of a quarterback as he's been. He's just like Drew, and he did not bring a championship to the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
So when you think about it from that perspective,
you'd already been to a Super Bowl with Drew and lost it,
and we lost it.
Okay.
But he has not even done that.
Okay. Were you good with sticking with Tom at 5-5?
Absolutely.
Because
you know what? It was something about him as far as his work ethic.
Okay.
He shut his mouth and came to work.
Correct.
And like I said, he knew where he was coming. And like he told me personally, we all went out to a big dinner.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm not giving this job back. He told that to me. I kind of tried to take him up under the wing a little bit, being a Michigan guy, but he was ready. And man, and just how he approached work every day, he was the first guy in, last one out. And when you sit there and look at that as from a young player, and he's not doing anything to lose the game, knowing that all the pressure is on us defensively, we loved it. Because sometimes, I'm not saying it was Drew it's Drew Bledsoe and everybody else, but that's how it was somewhat in New England. It was Drew Bledsoe and the rest of the guys.
Right.
Tom Brady was like one of the guys right away, and we appreciated that.
That's well said. When you're going up against Tom in practice that year, did you sense it factor? Did you see this Tom Brady that we see to this day?
You've seen it, but we gave him a hard time.
I'm sure you did.
We talked a lot of trash to get up into his head, but that's the one thing that we couldn't do. We couldn't shake him. So even though, we picked him off, we did any and everything that we could say. We'd talk about his mama, whatever the case was.
Yeah.
We did whatever to rattle him a little bit, but he did not get rattled, and he stayed competitive. Even if he threw a pick, he'll come right and bite back at you. So we love that because we weren't used to seeing that in a quarterback. You know what I mean? He's jumping in the middle with us, banging heads before the game. You know, something a quarterback typically doesn't do. You know what I mean? So he made his mark that way.
So back to Romo, you're misinterpreting Jerry the businessman, because Jerry the businessman wants to sell tickets first. He's all about box office, and Romo is much bigger box office than Dak will ever hope to be. Dak is conventional, conservative, because Romo is high risk, high reward. He is capable of throwing 5 touchdown passes and 2 or 3 big interceptions. Yeah, and Dak is not really capable of 5 touchdowns. He just doesn't play that kind of style. But he is more conservative and trustable than Romo ever thought about being, and he's a better leader of men. They are following him because they trust him, and when it is crunch time, clutch time, Dak is going to come up bigger. Even though Tony he's had some big clutch games before, but this guy is more trustable. You have a better chance to go deeper in the playoffs with Dak Prescott, which is why, to your point, I was pushing, trade Tony Romo at the trade deadline, which now we're two weeks by, because if the Jets or somebody wanted to make a big splash in New York City, they will take $24 million off your hands and off your cap. That's what had to happen, because I'm sold. I told you from the start, I'm sold on Dak Prescott.
I think Tony Romo's value, it might be more after the season, because he's still coming off the injury. Don't nobody know what it is. He could be cleared, but to put him on the market right now, you're probably going to get more from him at the end. Hopefully you can go and win a Super Bowl. Now you got a healthy Tony Romo out there if you're going to trade him. But you got the best backup in the league right now. Why go anywhere?
You know, there are a lot of analytics and measurables. When the coach should go for 2, when should he go for it on 4th down, when he should onside it. But a lot of the decisions that coaches make is just gut feeling. Well, Jason Garrett is really not the coach. Jerry's the coach.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
It's Jerry's guts telling him he should go back to Romo. Mm-hmm. That's why this decision is so. For us, for the outside public, and everybody that plays the game, that as a general manager or head coach or owner, everybody says Jerry must be out of his mind to even think about removing this young man from the starting lineup. Mm-hmm. But again, like I said, analytics and all the measurables, but a lot of what coaches do is gut feel. And his gut says, I should go back to Tony Romo. Yeah. He's been loyal to me. I've been loyal to him. And this would validate me. This would be a very, very fitting end for a Dallas Cowboy. Because if you're a Dallas Cowboy quarterback, Danny White wasn't a bad quarterback. There have been some other, Craig Morton wasn't a bad quarterback. But the quarterbacks that are revered in Dallas, there's only 2. Roger Staubach and Troy Aikman. Mm-hmm. If Tony Romo were to get a Super Bowl, he would be like, if Dak wins this Super Bowl, he goes on that, because there's nothing like a quarterback in Dallas. And there are only 2. And that's Troy and Roger Staubach. Mm-hmm. And if whoever wins, if they were to win a Super Bowl, whoever that quarterback is, he's mythical now.
Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, he may have a soft spot for Tony Romo, but Shannon, in the NFL, it's not for long.
Yeah.
It's no loyalty in this game. So he wants to be loyal to Tony Romo. For what reason? I don't know. Until you brought a championship. I understand if the Patriots showed loyalty at the end of Tom Brady's career if he was slowing down because of what he did for the organization. Right. Maybe let him get another year or so surrounded with
I don't think he would. If he saw slowing down, I think Bill would say, you're gone.
I mean, but I'm saying that you can justify them saying, hey, let's give him one more if he wanted to play.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Tom Brady should be like a Coach K. Coach K, you retire. There's nothing you can do that we're going to fire you. Tom Brady needs to be one of those guys. Tom, when are you done?
Yep.
Okay,
absolutely.
This is Tom Brady's job.
Absolutely.
There are certain players that you think, but once Joe Montana left San Francisco and we saw Bruce Smith leave Buffalo and Emmett leave Dallas, all bets were off. Because you're talking about some of the top 10 or 15, 20 players to ever play the game that weren't going to finish their career where their career started. So would anyone be shocked if Tom Brady played in another uniform? Probably not.
No.
I hope that doesn't happen because he's a guy. He should be like a Marino and an Elway. Finish your career in one location.
But it was whispers going around.
Oh, yeah.
When Matt Castle was playing well.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But see, it's not even, like I said, a debate with this situation because as good as Tony Romo has been throughout his career, he has not brought a championship there. Mm-hmm. Now, you drafted a young quarterback for a reason, to replace him. That's why you drafted him. Yeah. Why you got Ezekiel Elliott? Now, these two are playing that well together. That's your next Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Hey,
so are you
it came a little earlier than expected.
Bottom line, Bill Belichick made the choice at 5-5 to stick with Tom Brady. Was that his call and only his call?
Yes, because Mr. Kraft is the type of owner, even if he was leaning more towards Drew Bledsoe, he's going to let Coach Belichick do his job, and it worked out. And that's what I love about Mr. Kraft. He lets Coach Belichick and doesn't get involved in that. You're not going to see him. Nothing's wrong with what Jerry's doing because that's how Jerry's always been. But you'll probably never see
there
Mr.
is something
Kraft.
wrong with it.
I think Coach Jerry doesn't quite operate that way.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that Mr. Kraft is a different type of owner and that he trusts in his coaches and his GM in the organization.
GM, coach, VP, Jerry Jones.
Do the right thing, Jerry. Ty, thanks so much for joining us. Thanks for being here. Coming up, we have exclusive audio of Floyd Mayweather ripping Conor McGregor. We'll play that for you next on Undisputed.